If you like what we're talking about, please subscribe, support us. We'd appreciate it. This weekend's fight night, De Ridder versus Allen. Interesting main event. Let's talk about any other fights before we get into the co.
Yeah, unlike the next 2 weeks, this fight night is actually quite good. So on the prelims, you got Kyle Priplek. If you remember, he recently fought BSD on short notice, put up a good fight before getting subbed in round 2. He's fighting Drew Dober, which, is always a fun fight. Yep. Bruno Silva is fighting Hung Young Park. Charles Jourdain versus Davy Grant. That's a very fun matchup. And then on the undercard, Matt Frevola, never in a boring fight, versus Kyle Nelson. Manon Fiorot versus Jasmine Jasudavicius. So Manon Fiorot, I think she's like number 2 ranking this, and Jasmine, I think, is like number 5. So it's high level. And then Marlon Vera is on this card. Yeah, he hasn't fought in over a year. He's fighting Aiemann Zahabi. So tough matchup for him.
Zahabi, brother.
He's kind of at a crossroad, I think. So he needs to win.
Interesting.
But let's get into this co-main event here. Looking forward to Kevin Holland versus Mike Malott.
All right, Malott is 12-2-1, 5 KOs, 6 subs, 1 decisions. He's had performance of the night twice in the UFC, and he's 5-1 overall in the UFC. Kevin Holland, 28-14-1, 14 KOs, 9 subs, 5 decisions. He's actually won 2 out of his last 3 now. Kevin's been a little more consistent lately. Fight of the night 1 time, performance of the night 9 times. Second most performance of the night bonuses behind Charles Oliveira. Kevin's exciting. His problem has always been consistency, but the fact that he has won 2 out of the last 3, maybe this is his time to keep kind of starting to put things together. We always say that. We always want to believe that. I'm just very sympathetic and very partial to this guy. I always want to believe the best of Kevin Holland. It's an interesting fight. The Kevin Holland, I think, that's at his best needs to show up, and I think if he does, he'll win this fight. Maybe by decision, though. Mike's pretty tough. So I'll go Kevin Holland decision.
Yeah, we never really know what Holland we're going to get, but we know it'll be fun. Worth noting that, a lot of that inconsistency comes because he goes between middleweight and welterweight, and he's kind of set himself up to stay here at welterweight, and those last couple victories are at welterweight. This fight is at welterweight. So that is, I guess, a pro in his column. But Mike Malott sort of flies under the radar because his wins aren't really versus top guys, even though he has good performances. When he did step up versus a top-ranked guy in Neil Magny recently. He dominated Neil in round 1 and 2, and he ended up getting tired, and then he got TKO'd.
Very Neil Magny.
Yes, Neil is famous for that. So, Holland would be a good step up for him to get into the rankings if he can win. So, Holland, if he wants to win, I think he needs to pick and choose when, to do his explosive, creative striking, and then not accept being on his back when he gets taken down. He has a tendency to try to rely on his jiu-jitsu to get all these subs and stuff. I think he needs to just be urgent about getting back to his feet when he gets taken down if he wants to win, because he'll just lose a decision by getting laid on, unfortunately. So I'm kind of torn on this one because I think Kevin can finish the fight at any moment, any number of ways, but at home in Canada, I'm going to pick Mike Malott by decision. Main event, Reiner de Ridder versus Brendan Allen.
Allen, one of your favorites, 25-7, 5 KOs, 14 subs, 6 decisions, 2-2 in his last 4 fights. He's had some step up in competition with mixed results here. Fight of the night 1 time, performance of the night 3 times. But one thing about Allen is he's always improving his game, and he's just mentally tough. So this will be very interesting. De Ridder 21-2, 5 KOs, 13 subs, 3 decisions, 4-0 in the UFC, all finishes, performance of the night. This guy was a champion at middleweight and light heavyweight for 1 championship. If you were to size these 2 up, I feel like it's a very even matchup. I feel like skill-wise, they match up really good with each other. And I think if you had put De Ridder in there with Allen, like say in Allen's debut, in De Ridder's debut in the UFC against Allen, I might have said Allen will beat him up. But that momentum factor is the big thing. And RDR has momentum right now, and he has a lot of confidence. And I don't know if Brendan Allen has the same confidence going this fight. Not, again, he's mentally tough. He doesn't usually get shaken. So I'm not going to be surprised if Allen kind of, I don't know if you want to call it an upset, but since he's the one that probably is further away from title contention, I would be not surprised at all if he actually pulls the win off here. But I'm going to go with RDR. I think this will go decision too. I think we're going to go all 5 rounds only because I know RDR's got some finishes, but I don't know if he's going to finish Allen. We'll see. I'm not going to bet on it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I've spoken about how I think Allen could be the dark horse for the middleweight title, but he does seem to stumble right before the moment he gets the title shot, unfortunately. Right. So this is a tough ask for him because I don't think he's probably not a better grappler in the matchup. And while he's a better striker, he's going to leave himself open to being taken down a lot because he's not, the most technically proficient striker. He's better than de Ridder, but, he's not all squared away and going to have that takedown. I think he's going to leave himself open and getting taken down. So I just don't know that over 5 rounds, he's going to be able to keep RDR off his neck. So I really, really, really hope that I'm wrong and that Allen can dominate him, in fact, and end up on his back and get a sub. But I'm going to pick RDR by sub round 4.